Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS news for Monday, February 25. Residents of St. James and surrounding parishes are to at last have their own multipurpose park. Ground was officially broken for the $1.2 billion recreation facility at closed Harbor Bay Beach in Montego Bay on Friday. Construction is to start in April on the 16-acre property, which is to feature amenities such as a jogging trail, adjustments to the beach park's sidewalks, and perimeter fencing. Rehabilitation will also be done to the groins to protect the shoreline from erosion. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says developing the closed Harbor Bay Beach is part of the response to climate change impact in the area.
So yes, the project will contribute to the public space and the beautification, but it will also significantly improve our resilience, certainly in terms of any weather shocks that may occur due to climate change. So an important part of this project, the repair of the groins, is in keeping with our thrust of building resilient infrastructure.
The project is financed through the TEF and Consolidated Fund and is being managed by the Urban Development Corporation. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ has outlined a list of measures to stimulate financial institutions lending to businesses and households. Governor of the bank, Brian Winter, says a decision was taken to lower policy interest rate by 25 points to 1.5%. This is to encourage more favorable lending rates and terms and reflects the bank's forecast of inflation remaining below target rate of 4 to 6% at various times over the next 8 quarters.
The decision to lower the policy rate to 1.5% is therefore aimed squarely at stimulating this pickup in the pace of expansion in private sector credit. It is not aimed at influencing the exchange rate.
He also announced that over the course of the year, the central bank would be reducing the cash reserves that deposit-taking institutions are required to hold against their prescribed liabilities.
Effective the 1st of March, the cash reserve requirement will be reduced by 3 percentage points to 9%, releasing $16.8 billion to deposit-taking institutions.
The BOJ governor says this will improve the ability of the banks to provide more credit to households and businesses at lower rates and on better terms. Mr. Winter made the announcements at last Thursday's quarterly press briefing. Government will be increasing its support to privately run early childhood institutions in the 2019-2020 fiscal year. Education Minister Senator Roel Reid says $346 million has been allocated to cover the provision of stipend, nutritional support, school materials, and training. $43 million is also set aside for these private institutions to cover fees to renew their food handlers' permits and police records.
I have allocated $43 million so that ECC will have control of that money to ensure that all the practitioners, when they are ready for the renewal of these permits, it will be funded by the Early Child Commission. On condition they are from those registered institutions, and I'm going to put a little caveat on it that, try to make sure they have at least a 2-year contract. I don't want that we give them a waiver and they really are very temporary.
The Education Minister was addressing the recent official reopening of the Liberty Hill Infant School in St. Anne. The institution, which was destroyed by fire in 2014, was rebuilt through $22.2 million in financing from the Chase Fund. It is among the schools that will benefit from the provision for nutritional support. Cabinet is to receive a submission to ensure that there is adequate funding for the operation of drop-in centers being constructed across the island. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says government support is necessary for the continued operation of the centers. 6 drop-in centers have already been established across the country, with other parishes to receive 1 each within a few months.
No drop-in facility that is constructed in this country will struggle to find funds to keep the doors open to offer service to those who are in need.
And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness will tomorrow address the 30th intersessional meeting of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, in St. Kitts and Nevis. He left the country yesterday afternoon for the CARICOM meeting. While there, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and other regional heads will meet with a team from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Mr. Holness will also hold bilateral talks with heads of government from Estonia. The discussions with the Estonian government will include the digital society and best practices from Estonia on the implementation of a national identification system. The Prime Minister will return on Thursday. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang is in charge of the government during his visit. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.